This is a Beer Jew message for Occupy Wall Street. He asked me to make a message and send it out to the internet crowd. We're not clear on the subject and we're not clear on the intent, but we're clear on the song. So here we go.
Occupied New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago, Houston, and Philly too. Occupy Phoenix and San Antonio, San Diego, and Dallas, man, who are you? Occupy San Jose and Jacksonville. Occupy Indianapolis and Austin, San Francisco. Occupy Columbus, Fort Worth, Charlotte, and Detroit. Occupy El Paso, and occupy Memphis, and occupy Baltimore, and Boston, Seattle, and Washington. Occupy Nashville, and occupy Denver, and occupy Milwaukee, Portland, Las Vegas. Occupy Oklahoma City, I'm sure. Occupy Albuquerque, occupy Tucson, Fresno, Sacramento, Long Beach, Kansas City, and Mesa, Virginia Beach. Occupy Atlanta, occupy Colorado Springs, occupy Omaha, occupy Raleigh, occupy Miami, Cleveland, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Minneapolis, and Wichita. 'Cause we've been waiting for your support for way too long. It seems like the government's corrupt and they only support Wall Street and not my songs. Well, march on them and we'll get you 10%, 'cause I think that we're being screwed by the government. Turn that on, dude. Occupy Oakland, Minneapolis, Arlington, and Bakersfield, New Orleans, Honolulu. Occupy Anaheim and Tampa too. Occupy Aurora, Santa Ana, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Corpus Christi, Riverside, Cincinnati, Lexington, and Anchorage. Occupy Stockton, Toledo, St. Paul. Occupy Newark, Greens, Buffalo, and Plano all. I said occupy Henderson and Fort Wayne, Jersey City, St. Petersburg, Chula Vista, Chula Vista. 'Cause we've been taking your shit for way too long. Occupy Orlando, Chandler, Laredo, Madison, Winston-Salem, Lubbock, and Baton Rouge, and Durham, Garland, Glendale, Reno, Hialeah, Chesapeake, and Scottsdale. Occupy North Las Vegas, Irving, Fremont. Occupy Irving and Birmingham. Occupy. I said occupy Rochester, San Bernardino, Spokane, Gilbert, and Arlington. Occupy Montgomery, and Boise, and Richmond, and Des Moines, and Modesto, Fayetteville, Shreveport, and Akron, and Tacoma. Occupy Aurora. Occupy Oxnard, Fontana, Yonkers, and Augusta. Occupy Mobile, Little Rock, where Clinton is from. Occupy Moreno Valley. Occupy Glendale and the Huntington Beach. Occupy Columbus and Grand Rapids. Occupy Salt Lake City. Occupy Tallahassee, Worcester, Newport. Occupy Huntsville, Knoxville, Providence, Santa Clara, Santa Grande Prairie, Brownsville. Occupy Jackson in the Overland Park. Occupy Garden Grove, occupy Santa Rosa, occupy Chattanooga and Oceanside, occupy Fort Lauderdale, Rancho Cucamonga, Port St. August, and Tempe to occupy Springfield, Lancaster, Eugene, Pembroke Pines, Salem, Cape Coral, Peoria, Sioux Falls, occupy Springfield, Elk Grove, and Rockford, Palmdale, Corona, Salinas. 'Cause we've been taking your shit for way too long. I can't really remember very well the words to the song, but I think it has to do with the fact that you're screwing me. So let's occupy the bedroom of Ben Bernanke. Oh yeah. Let's occupy Pomona, Pasadena, Juliet, Patterson, Kansas City, Torrance, Syracuse, Bridgeport, Hayward, Fort Collins, and Escondido. Occupy Lakewood, Naperville, Daytona, Hollywood, and Sunnyvale. Occupy Alexandria, Mesquite, and Hampton, Pasadena, Ord, Savannah, and Fullerton. I said occupy Warren, Clarksville, McKinney, occupy McAllen, New Haven, Sterling Heights, occupy West Valley, Columbia, Killeen, occupy Topeka and the Thousand Oak and Cedar Heights, occupy Elizabeth, Waco, and Hartford, occupy Visalia, Gainesville, and Semi Valley, occupy Stanford, Bellevue, Concord, occupy Miramar and Coral Springs, Lafayette too, because I've been on the government's tip for way too long. They told me it was time I got off, and I started to sing this song. And I said, why do you think that we don't get nothing? I guess that's the American system. Well, it said occupy Charleston, Carlton, Roseville, Beaumont, and Thornton, occupy Allenstown, surprise at the Evansville and Abilene, and occupy Frisco, occupy Independence and Santa Clara, Springfield, Vallejo, Victorville, and Athens and Peoria, occupy Lansing, occupy Ann Arbor, occupy Elmont, Berkeley, and Provo, occupy Downey, Midland, Norman, and Waterbury, and St. Charles, occupy Costa Mesa, occupy Inglewood, occupy Manchester and Moonsboro and Columbia, occupy Elgin, Clearwater, and Miami Gardens, occupy Rochester, Pueblo, occupy Lowell, occupy Wellington, occupy Arvada, Ventura, Westminster, occupy West Covina and Gresham, occupy Fargo, Norco, and Carlsbad, occupy Fairfield, Canyon Ridge, and Wichita, occupy High Point, Billings, and Green Bay, occupy West Jordan, Richmond, Murrieta, and Burbank. 'Cause they said we've been taking your bullshit for way too long. I got laid off from my job, and I just started to sing this song. And then I turned on the news, and I saw that there was protesters in Washington as well as in New York. And so I wanted to support them. And I said, now, occupy Green Bay, West Jordan, occupy Richmond and Murrieta, occupy Burbank, Bombay, occupy Everett, Flint, Antioch, and occupy Erie, occupy South Bend, can you hear me clearly? Occupy Daly City, Centennial, and Tamaluca. Occupy the bedroom of Ben Bernanke, and occupy all the Mercedes that are parked out in front of Wall Street. We're gonna occupy the banks, we're gonna occupy the feds, we're gonna take America back and do what the Constitution said. Occupy Wall Street, occupy Seattle, occupy the banks, occupy Wall Street, occupy Seattle, occupy your shrinks.